Hello, welcome to AQA Biology 2018 series. This is higher tier, paper 1. So the instructions at the front. So you must have a ruler, a scientific calculator, black or blue. So each uses black, actually, just black ink or black ballpoint pen. The reason for that is that it gets scanned after you do the paper and sent to people to mark. So make sure it's a dark colour. So they recommend black so that when they scan it, that no details are being missed. Because it's obviously that they scan it into a computer and isn't read, then you won't get any marks, obviously, because they can't read it. So there's 100 marks available in the paper. There's actually fewer questions, but they're longer on the biology, because you might notice that the chemistry and physics are actually got more questions, but they're shorter. So this looks like it's shorter when you first see it, but the questions have actually got more marks. So it's a little bit different. Especially for biology, needed for good English and presentation in your answers. There's lots of keywords and a bit more extended writing in this one for lots of answers. Okay. It says do all rough work in this book. Cross all any work you do not want to mark. Show calculations. Even in biology, there's still a maths bit in it. Okay. Let's get on with the questions. So eating food containing salmonella bacteria can cause illness. 2 symptoms of infection by salmonella are vomiting and diarrhea. What causes these symptoms? Okay, so it's the bacteria. So it's toxins. Okay, so toxins produced by the bacteria. It's only 1 mark, so this is going to be 1 sentence. Because bacteria produce toxins, that's why they make you ill. Okay, give 2 ways a person with a mild infection of salmonella can help to prevent the spread of the bacteria to other people. Okay, so it's the same sort of thing as obviously stopping a viral infection as well. So, but sometimes bacteria are even more infectious. Okay, so you could probably say something like, you're probably all probably good at this from recent events. So isolate yourself, so don't go near other people. Okay, and you can say do not share cutlery. Okay, towels, that's another one, isn't it, as well? Is it towels like in a bathroom with family? You need to have their own towel. That's just a good practice. If you've got anything in a cold, okay, is that somebody won't come and wipe their hands to dry them and the towel in the bathroom. The person with the infectious illness, they should not use the same towels. Okay, so 1.3, in very serious infections of salmonella, because people can get very ill from it, a doctor can prescribe drugs to kill the bacteria. What type of drug can the doctor prescribe to kill the bacteria? So the word bacteria is mentioned a lot there because it's part of the, that's the reason it's part of the answer. It's antibiotics. Remember that antibiotics only work on bacteria. They don't work on viruses. That's why the coronavirus didn't respond to antibiotics and had to make a vaccine to prevent it, or they had to try and investigate certain drugs that would actually treat it, because you can't treat it with antibiotics. Okay, a person with AIDS may take longer than a healthy person to recover from a salmonella infection. Explain why. Okay, so if someone's got AIDS, their immune system doesn't function properly, or it's weakened, so the immune system is weakened. Okay. Immune system is weakened, so the white blood cells cannot kill the bacteria as effectively. That's what lots of people from AIDS actually die from is that because their immune system is weakened, is that they die of other illnesses because they can't fight them off. Okay, there's other also autoimmune conditions where the same thing happens. It's not the illness itself that causes it, because AIDS is a virus. It's actually other infections that can actually lead to it. Okay. So let's have a look at the next question. It's a good thing to keep in mind is that if you have any illnesses that affect the immune system, people are vulnerable to other infections. Okay. So salmonella bacteria can be transmitted from chickens to humans. I'm sure you've all heard about that, about salmonella being found in uncooked chicken. Chickens can be vaccinated to prevent the transmission of salmonella bacteria to humans. Suggest one other way farmers could prevent the transmission of salmonella from chickens to humans. Okay, that's interesting. Actually, I was thinking about that, thinking for a minute about they could have a vaccination. You could sell that they could test them, couldn't they? They could test in England. I think that they are tested quite a lot. That's why England don't have to keep that you don't have to keep eggs in the fridge. Other countries you do, okay, because they've been tested. Okay, so one thing you could do is you could isolate infected chickens. So same thing with humans, so you could test them. Okay. Often with animals, I know it sounds a little bit sad, but they get slaughtered. So that means they get killed. So they might try and treat it first, but unfortunately that happens. But I mean, if they're going to be food anyway, that's what they're being farmed for, isn't it? But if you had your own chicken, that's like sometimes you've got your own chickens, because I've got some chickens actually. If there's a salmonella outbreak, you've got to keep your chickens in their coop, because it can be passed from different birds. So it's actually there is sort of procedures in place. Is that all bird flu outbreaks? You have to keep your chickens inside, because actually garden birds can pass illnesses onto your own chickens, because obviously they live outside. So that's actually under consideration. So a restaurant owner employed a scientist to test the effectiveness of 2 kitchen cleaning liquids. The scientist took samples from 2 work surfaces. Before the surfaces had been cleaned with the cleaning liquids, and after the surfaces had been cleaned. So before and after cleaning with the cleaning liquids. The samples were then analysed for the number of bacteria they contained. The results are shown in figure 1. Number of bacteria in 10 to the 3, so thousands. So before cleaning, lots of bacteria. After cleaning, less. Okay, that's what you'd hope for, wouldn't it? I'm actually surprised that the sink has got less bacteria. Okay, I'm always cleaning my sink, so I think sinks must have a lot of bacteria in them. Okay, which cleaning liquid is most effective? Right, so let's have a look. So it's clearly it's B, isn't it? I think so B, because there's a greater reduction in number. So cleaning liquid B. So greater reduction, so this was a nice easy mark actually. So greater reduction in bacteria numbers. In both locations, the table and the sink. Okay. Let's have a look. The scientists investigated the effect of cleaning liquid A and B on salmonella bacteria grown in a laboratory. Figure 2 shows the way the investigation was set up. So salmonella bacteria growing on agar, it's like a petri dish, filter paper disc soaked in water, that's a control, filter paper disc soaked in clean liquid B. That was our better one from before. Filter paper disc soaked in clean liquid A. Yeah. The Petri dish was placed in an incubator at 25 degrees Celsius for 48 hours. After 48 hours, the scientists calculated the area around each paper disc where no bacteria were growing. The results are shown in table 1. Okay, so area around disc with no bacteria growing. Water, 0, it hadn't killed anything, or prevented it from growing. Clean liquid A, 11 centimeters. Clean liquid B, 13. So again, this is the better one. What measurement would the scientists need to take to calculate the area where no bacteria were growing? Okay, so what it means is that, say, example, so if there was, most likely, because it's circular, it's most likely to be a circle around where no bacteria were growing. So you either take the radius, okay, so the scientists need to take the radius or the diameter, okay, so that's the radius there, or if you did the whole thing, the diameter, so you need the radius or the diameter, okay, and then you use pi r squared to work out, but the measurement is actually what you measure, so not the calculation. Radius, diameter. That's what you're actually measuring there. You might have done it at school actually as well, done it before. If one change to the investigation, that would allow the scientist to check if the results are repeatable. Because remember, that could be trying to think that yeah, this is a funny one. If one changed, you could, when I was repeat, I think I had to say it obviously, because repeat experiment and that it's actually have to put a little bit more than this, okay, because I can see people are going to do this to see if results, this is this bit you need to see if results are similar. The reason why I make these videos is because sometimes some things are commonly missed off. Okay, let's have a look. Next one. The scientists showed the results to the restaurant owner. Both cleaning liquids cost the same per decimeter cubed. Oh, that's something chemistry there. Suggest one other factor the restaurant owner could consider when choosing which cleaning liquid to use. Okay, this is interesting. There's a few different ones with this I can think of. So you could say, I mean, there's only one mark, but I'm going to suggest a few to you. Okay, so you could say health effects. So one of them might be toxic to people. So example, that you wouldn't use toilet bleach on the sideboard of the kitchen or like on a sort of a baby's cot or anything, because obviously it's quite toxic. Down the toilet's okay, but not where people eat off. Okay, you have to have certain other things to do that. Okay, so that could be an issue there. It could be very good at killing bacteria, but it might not be good for humans either. Okay, there's all those factors. The other one would be the effects on other pathogens, because it might only work on salmonella, but obviously there are other pathogens that are about. Not the only bacteria, or fungus. Fungi. So people forget often. I forget fungi quite a lot actually. Okay, so number 2, metabolism is the sum of all the chemical reactions in the cells of the body. One metabolic reaction is the formation of lipids. Give one other metabolic reaction in cells. I mean, straight away, I always think respiration. When you say metabolic, that's actually what I first want to think. So I'm going to write it down. That is correct. There are a few others, so I'm going to say them as well, but I think this is the most obvious one. Most people probably think that as well, respiration. So you can also have formation of proteins, formation of breakdown of glycogen, formation of urea. That's a good one as well. I was going to say that on the mark scheme actually allows photosynthesis, but that's I think that's a bit of a dangerous one to go past plants, isn't it? I don't want people getting mixed up with humans and animals. I know it can be confusing, so we'll stay respiration, but I'll stick to things in the human body. Okay, so I'm going to finish this video here, and I'll continue this question next video. Thank you for listening. See you in the next video. Goodbye.